Woo-hoo! I am so excited. Welcome to Conversations with Beth, where curiosity meets connection. I'm Beth Lees. I'm a lifelong spiritual explorer, a passionista, and a lover of deep, meaningful conversations. Yeah, baby. Shifts and Giggles is all about getting to know amazing people doing wonderful things in the world. And I do it in a fun and intimate way by asking insightful, provocative questions that are designed to spark laughter, insights, and maybe some of those holy shift moments where suddenly your perspective suddenly changes. So let's get comfy, open your heart, and let's dive into some soulful conversation. I am so super excited for today's guest. I kind of have a girl crush on her. She's an amazing, inspired, and inspirational person who is a true powerhouse when it comes to leading with heart and living with purpose. Jen is not just a coach, she's a catalyst for transformation. And as a leadership and embodiment coach, speaker, and author, she guides people to step boldly into their own power and live lives that are deeply aligned with their truth. Her coaching sessions, both group sessions and personal sessions, private sessions, empower individuals to embrace change and take meaningful action. Whether she's on stage delivering an impactful and inspired talk or leading an embodiment a workshop where participants unlock the transformative power of gesture. Ooh, what's that? Or helping someone shape and preserve their unique legacy. Jen's work is nothing short of inspiring. So get ready for a conversation that will challenge you to think differently, feel deeply, and lead from within. Woohoo! Let's dive into it, baby.
Oh my God, I love you.
I love you more. I feel so blessed to count you as a soul sister. And yeah, always feel deeply seen and listened to when I'm in your presence. So how did you get to this place?
Mm, wow. Well, I flew in. I'm seeing like I don't know, an orbit of some. How did I get to this? How did I land here? Well, it's been quite a journey. It really has. And first of all, let me say, I'm excited to be here and right back at you with all of those beautiful things that you said. I feel we have this incredible soulful connection, and I absolutely adore and love you and the work you're doing. So thank you. It's an honor to really be having this conversation with you. You always bring the fun. That's the best. Um, so how did I arrive here? So, you know, I've always felt like I've been a part of something, an energy that's bigger than me. And it's always been this like beautiful, like purposeful energy. And I didn't know exactly what that was until recently, until the last few years. But I always knew that I was like, there was always this voice inside of me. And I'll stop there for a second and just go back and say that it hasn't always been easy, not even close. I had my own struggles and my own misalignment in having limiting beliefs about my intelligence and what I was capable of, all because of how society really measures intelligence. And I was raised with this perspective that if you did well on your SATs, you got high scores on your IQ, blah, 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 that is smart. That's intelligent. I didn't do well on any of it. So you can imagine the limiting beliefs that I created for myself. But that's what it was. It was very like linear, logical, conservative. And I did not flow. There was no flow for me in that kind of perspective. So I really was down on myself, and it really did take a toll. Like I had severe, debilitating self-doubt, and one would not really know. And I think part of it was because I had found dance, and dance really connected me to my body's wisdom. And this, I didn't know it was wisdom. I didn't actually know it was smart until later, but I just knew that I was connected to something special. And it wasn't until I was 27 that I had like that rock bottom, moment, and really realized like I had enough already. Like this was it. I was done thinking about myself in this way. And I came into the work of Howard Gardner, who's a Harvard professor of education and cognition at Harvard University. And he has written many, many books and teaches about the multiple forms of intelligence. And when I learned that there was multiple forms of intelligence, I cried a lot at first because I was like, oh my God, how come nobody told me that there are many ways to process and like express and be smart, intelligent? But then very quickly after, I was like, there are more people out there that need to know this beyond myself. And so that's kind of what started this transformation, this unlocking of and healing for myself. And that's a whole thing that I can tell you about. But that was like that's what was the tipping point. And I think how I arrived here was through that struggle, then that learning, the transformation that took place, and the work that I had done for 20 years, which was I was a dance educator, still am, and teaching children embodied curriculum, teaching them like curriculum through the arts, through their body. Can't even believe that existed.
What a beautiful thing to teach children how to be embodied.
Exactly. Yes. So there's an organization called National Dance Institute. And when I was in my late 20s, I found this organization while I was doing all this research simultaneously because I was learning about kinesthetic and emotional intelligence. And then I came across this organization that was teaching embodied learning, like through the body, learning about curriculum and all kinds of important things, but embodying it, using that as a catalyst, which is kinesthetic intelligence. And I was like, oh my God, this is me. This is what I was. This is what I needed when I was a child.
So it's like you're teaching your younger self.
That's exactly right. And I still do it. I mean, I did it wholeheartedly for 17 years. And now I've been a trainer for the organization because I teach the teachers how to do it. I just fell in love with it because, again, that was my not only transformational, but healing journey. Because
Yeah, you're healing yourself, your younger self. How beautiful is that?
Yeah, pretty great.
I love it. So if your life had a theme song,
Oh,
what would it be?
oh my gosh. Okay, my theme song, I have a few, but I know this is going to sound silly, but it's Never Say Never, Justin Bieber. Because it's like, it's such a good song. I mean, I have a few, but that one really comes to me because that's about never saying never, like never giving up on yourself and always pushing through. And that song really has gotten me through a lot. So that's the first one that comes to my mind.
I love it. And you're like, I hear people talk about having boundaries and saying no, but that always like feels very constricted to me. I get why it can be important, but I always see you as a yes woman. You're always like showing up and saying yes, yes to life's struggles, yes to life's fabulousness, all of it.
Yeah, I do say yes. I do say yes. Because you know what it is? I feel like I am a lifelong learner, like you, a student of not just me, like I'm a student of myself because I'm learning about myself constantly, but really a student of everybody that I come in contact with. So if I don't say yes, then I'm cutting myself off from learning something new and pushing the boundaries. And I'm at a place, I wasn't always here, but I'm definitely at a place where like I'm not afraid of myself anymore. I'm not afraid of my emotions. I'm not afraid to dive deep. And so because I can do that with myself, I can do that with others. And the only way to really go that deep is to just say yes.
Yeah. Hell yes.
Yes.
Um, if you could sum up your life philosophy using the power of gesture, what would it look like?
So let's just quickly say what the power of gesture is.
Yes, absolutely.
So the power of gesture is my signature practice that I created from my life experience as a dance educator and the research that I did with kinesthetic and emotional intelligence. I know the body helps is like a bridge to our soul. It's the bridge to our truth. That's what it is. And so the power of gesture is a body set practice. We talk so much about mindset, and some mindset is important, but we are missing part of the equation, and the other half is body set. And that's what the power of gesture is. So your question was, how do I sum up my life using the power of gesture kind of thing? How I really connect that is I never knew there was such a thing as body set. And there isn't. Nobody even's talking about it. I came up with it like
You are.
a few months ago on a treadmill. I was like, wait, who's talking about body set? So if I knew that there was such a thing and I could get out of my head and into my body, things would have been a lot different. I don't regret anything because it got me to where I am now, so it's all good. But if I could summarize like my philosophy, it's really it really speaks to the power of the body and really giving ourselves an opportunity to pause, to really know that the intelligence inside of ourselves is connected to the truth of who we are, is the truth of who we are. So to really empower that, my whole life is about helping people know that we have to go in, that the truth is within, that the intelligence is within, and to use that as a resource to live their life, to get to that fully expressed, saying yes to everything place. We have to go in first. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, kind of. You are so adorable. If you could teach the power of gesture to any leader
Look at you.
of any kind, who would it be and why?
I gotta say, it's Mel Robbins.
I love that.
I would love to teach her the power of gesture. Like if I could have her in a room for 30 minutes, because I've read a lot of her books and I know that she would love this because so much of her stuff is the mindset. And then we're like right there. Like when I read the Let Them theory, it's like right there. And I want to be like, and then we go here. And then we embody.
Buddy.
And she speaks to it in different ways that I know would just instantly click. So if I could teach her the power of gesture, I think she would really, not only because she's Mel Robbins, but because I think she would really appreciate it
I love that.
and see the value of it.
So can you demonstrate for us the power of gesture?
Sure. Yeah. You want to do it with me?
Yeah, of course I do.
Okay. So I'll zip through this real quick with you. So your listeners can see and your watchers can see. So place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly and close your eyes for a moment. And first off, feeling the power of this gesture, holding yourself in a supportive, courageous, beautiful, honest way. And feeling that energy, allowing that energy to seep in and swirl. And I want you to connect to what you're feeling right now in this moment. Every emotion is welcome. So connecting to what you're feeling in this moment with me and where you feel it in your body. And when you have that, you can relax your hands and open your eyes. Yes.
Yes, you want to know what I felt?
What is the emotion? Yeah.
I would say the emotion is becoming. Is that an emotion? An
Yeah.
unfolding, opening,
Ooh. Yeah.
an awakening,
Yes. Okay.
like that
And where do you feel that in your body when you say that?
in my heart.
Hmm. Okay. So I want you to embody that feeling, that emotion, that energy, right? So, and you can use your heart as a place to start from. It doesn't have to, but using your hands, there's no wrong or right. Like, what does that energy look like? Ooh, yes, yes. Woohoo! Okay, that is so good. So the idea is we create the gesture, right? So we're having thoughts about it. It's in our mind, right? Then it's in our body. We're feeling it in our body. And then we take it outward and we experience the emotion and the feeling of belonging, becoming, and evolving this whole thing so that we can create an imprint on our body, inside of our body, of this energy. So we're almost like retraining our body to feel this more than the limiting beliefs that tend to come up and all of that stuff. So we're just like locking it in. So do we can do this for a second. I can put my music on. I'll take a second because
Yeah.
this is what the power of gesture is. There's always a music component because music is truly a gateway to the soul as well. So why not use it? So inspiring and also um, intensifies the emotion that we're trying to imprint on our body.
Well,
So
it also feels like it moves it. It moves it through the body.
100%. The music or just the gesture itself?
The gesture itself, quite frankly.
Yeah.
I'm sure the music helps too.
And the music absolutely helps in create it and make it even more abundant, right, in our body. Okay, so I'm gonna put music on and you're gonna do the gesture 3 times. And you can do it slowly. In fact, I invited, but I know we're on this podcast. But I like the slowness to give your body an opportunity to really speak and feel it. And the repetition is the same thing, so that your body can speak and feel it. And you're going to close your eyes so that you can really go in. When you're complete, relax your hands and open your eyes.
Okay.
So hand on your heart and belly, closing your eyes for a moment. I'm really feeling and acknowledging this connection, this opportunity to deepen this beautiful energy that you've created for yourself. When the music comes on, you can begin at your own time. And when you're complete, relax your hands and open your eyes. Beautiful. Wow. So beautiful. How did that feel?
So powerful, so liberating and expansive and freeing.
Yeah, I love that. The hands really help assist with what it is that we're trying to transform and get to know. And I will say, that it's not always the light that we embody. We do acknowledge the dark and the things that hold us because they need a voice too. But we come at it from curiosity, love, compassion, not judgment. I wish you weren't here, go away, but more like
Right.
understand. So we do both because they need to talk to each other.
They absolutely do need to talk to each other. That's part of healing, It's not just all about sunshine and rainbows and unicorns.
Exactly.
And life would be kind of boring if it was all like that, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? Awesome. Such a powerful tool.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
so glad to
beautiful.
have it and share it with the world.
I love it. Um, so today I saw one of your posts on Instagram,
Yes.
and it was very powerful. It was very vulnerable. Um, and it reminded me of something that it's something that I use in some of my retreats and workshops, the power of writing yourself a letter.
Mm,
And I was wondering if you would be open to sharing that. You can
absolutely.
do some of the backstory on it too.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, So I recently went to a conference in Texas, um, and I was asked to speak there. I had an opportunity to speak, and it was beautiful. And I was a little bit nervous, but it went pretty well. But I definitely had a little bit of that. And then more so, the conference itself was called a books and business event, but it was really about purpose and leadership from within. And just really, it was very soulful, led by an extraordinary woman, Amber Vilhauer. And she led us in an in a meditation around, living your purpose and what it means and what kind of impact it would make for you not to live your purpose. Like how the world would suffer if you didn't. So the meditation went from like not living your purpose and feeling blocked to and what the world looks like and all your people like struggling because they want to hear you to living it and bringing your gifts to the world and what the world looks like then. So it was really interesting and I was bawling completely. I was definitely hysterical. And I was like, "Oh my God." And I was wearing this hat and I was like, "Thank God I'm wearing this hat." And then the
Why? So you could hide under it?
after because I was just like, like I was just, it was really so much came up for me. And then the invitation was who would like to share. And I really wasn't going to share because I was so like sobbing that I just didn't even think I'd get my words out. And then after someone shared, I literally felt like a push in my shoulder. It was like, do it. And I raised my hand. I did not expect to share, but I did. Oh, sorry. After the meditation, she asked us to write a letter to ourselves. She actually said you can write a letter to anyone in the room. I chose myself. And a couple other people did too. It was interesting. So anyway, so I wrote the letter and then she asked, do you want to share the letter kind of thing. So that's when I got the pull and the push and I did it. So this is the letter that I wrote to myself. And what's great is when I read it, I was still bawling through it. I will not be bawling this time. So that's good. Um, so this is what I wrote to myself. I'm proud of you for stepping onto that stage, trying, practiced, and went for it. I'm proud of you for taking the mic, sharing vulnerably, asking for what needed to be clarified. I'm proud of you for seeing the past, the block, the stuck, the emotion to feel the legacy that is calling you. People in a circle, a sphere so wide and so deep, people of all colors, sizes, background, religion, gender. It's a thread because it's you. It all makes sense. It's who you are, it's where you are headed. Keep going. I'm proud of you for noticing that Katie, who's my avatar, she represents everybody that I serve, was at stage 3. She wasn't farther, which I have 5 stages. and realizing you couldn't help her because it's you. You were stuck and found bravery in your wholeness, your fullness, what it is you're meant to do. Unstuck. Now trust. You are safe. I've got you. Now go serve. Do what you're meant to do. Infinite impact. Shine your light. Tick tock. I love
So beautiful.
that.
Oh, it warms my cockles.
Oh, I love that.
Did you know I had cockles?
I didn't learn so much about you.
And you have cockles too.
Oh, what are tacos exactly?
Do you know what cockles are?
Not really.
Cockles. It's called warms the cockles of my heart. Like that's an expression, an old term expression. And cockles, I think, are like little shells,
Oh,
that are like in your heart. So it's like
right.
it's an endearing thing. I just like saying it because it's a little provocative.
It is. I was like, where did you go with that? Okay.
Jen's gonna go look that up later.
Exactly. Thank you for having me share that. I really like saying it out loud.
It's just beautiful, and it's a beautiful reminder. I encourage any listeners to like write a letter to yourself, write a love letter to yourself. It's amazing the power that that holds.
It really is because it makes you go in. And then if you think, if you just have like a quiet moment before it and get centered.
Yeah, get centered and grounded, a little meditation moment, and think about like
Mhm.
writing a love letter to yourself, which could feel very awkward at first, right? But if you like write it as a letter that you'd like to receive from somebody else,
Exactly.
you know,
Yeah.
and say it to yourself.
You know what was so fascinating about writing this letter too is because when I was writing it, and I've said many times that I was crying, and then and I thought to myself before I shared, okay, when we're done with this section in this conference, because I knew we were closing soon, I'm going to go take a walk for a little bit, and then I'm going to come back. But because I shared and everybody saw me in my puddle, I didn't need to take the walk afterwards.
That's
Felt
fascinating.
very comfortable. And I found that to be very interesting. The power of vulnerability
Yeah,
and how we think, oh God, I'm vulnerable and I'm upset, or whatever the emotion is that we're experiencing, we have to run and hide. Really, if we get the courage to share it, then we don't need to go anywhere.
exactly. And you get to be seen for who you really are.
Right.
It's beautiful.
Thanks.
I love that. So, just a few other questions. Do you have a recipe for living life well?
Oh, a recipe?
Yeah,
Well, I think really the key for me, my recipe is to take breaks. Like to really take breaks. I have to schedule it into my calendar. Take a break, go walk, go stretch, go do my back exercises, go meditate, do something. Just get up and go. And I really think that just like inserting that reminder throughout the day, a couple times, one time even, just take a break is really important because we forget. And
we do forget
there's so much power in that reset.
so much. What's the wildest or most unexpected place that you've practiced the power of gesture?
The most unexpected or the wildest place? That's a good question. Um, I mean, this isn't like so wild, but I did the power of gesture for over 100 women and at one time, and that was fascinating to me because I wasn't sure how it was going to unfold. I trusted myself because I've facilitated so much in like my teaching experience, and I've always gone to like plan B and redirected to plan C or D depending on the energy, that I trusted myself. And it was wild in that to just be like, I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing, but I trust that it's going to work out, and it did. It was
Well, it's like being in the unknown, which is a really potent place.
Yeah,
for us
exactly.
as individuals, but also when you're holding space for a group.
Yes.
And it's exhilarating to be in the unknown.
It is. And there's so many people, and I understand because I've been there myself to want to control, right? Control because it feels safe. And I get that. I get that. And it's so beautiful when you let yourself go and just trust that it's all going to work out. That's why you and I have such a flow.
Yeah, because we're okay with we just trust. We know we have the tools. We can do anything, right? We've got all the stuff we need. And that's where the magic, I think, of life happens, is in the unknown. When you just let yourself be like supported by the universe, supported by yourself,
Yeah.
right? And just let her rip.
Let it rip. Totally agree.
Pretty cool, man.
Love it.
What's one question you wish that I had asked you?
Oh, damn. Oh. What's my favorite ice cream?
What is your favorite ice cream?
Mint chocolate chip,
Get the hell out of here.
hot fudge, and whipped cream.
Boom, boom, boom.
What's yours?
I mint chocolate chip, not so much hot fudge,
Oh,
but lots of whipped cream.
yeah.
Maybe some nuts.
Yeah. That. You know, this is going to sound gross, but I like pineapple on it. I know, I know, I know,
Mint chocolate chip and pineapple.
I know. It's good though.
I'm gonna try it.
Right.
I like unusual things. Um, what's a book that you'd recommend
Mm.
besides your own book?
Yes, which is coming out this fall.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Well, I really love this book recently.
No Bad Parts. Who's it by?
Richard Schwartz. And he founded the IFS.
Oh, Internal Family Systems.
This I love, and I'm pointing this one out because when we can all embrace that we have no bad parts, I think our entire life can change, right? And it really is been such a support to me, this book, because I created the power of gesture, and when I unpack, because I just did it and I knew it was successful, it was just happening, right? But I didn't understand exactly why. And when I started to do some research, I came across his work. I was like, oh, right. That's what I am acknowledging the parts. I'm just their emotions that are connected to our life experiences. My language is just a little different. But he very successfully has crafted this whole thing. So it gave me some language to pull from. And I just think there's so much power in that, because that's so healing when we can look at ourselves and say, oh, we have no bad parts. Everything that we think is bad that we want to get rid of or wish we didn't feel actually has a place for us to really grow from and learn from.
Yeah, that goes back to that whole embracing the darker things,
Exactly.
right?
Yep.
Because we have to reintegrate those pieces of ourself that we abandoned because we labeled them as bad, or, whatever is negative.
Yep.
But things aren't good or bad. They just are.
That's exactly right. That's how I feel.
And it's about reframing our stories around those things.
Yep.
I love that. Where can people find you?
Oh, so my website, which is my name, www, that's not my name, Jen Aks, aks.com. That's that. And then on Instagram, it's my name with a little underscore between Jen and Aks. So at Jen_Aks. And those are really the two places that I live. You can email me, jen@jenaks.com. And also, you can come experience the power of gesture for free on a Tuesday at 10 virtually, or Wednesday at 12 virtually. 30 minutes. And I do this, I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this because I've been doing it for a while. But I think it's good still. It's in place, it's intact, it's going to be there for a little while, because it's a really beautiful way to experience the work and then see if it's something that you want to continue learning.
It's super powerful. I've done it, and it's really powerful to experience in a group as well. So I highly encourage people to take advantage of that. I'll put all the links for that someplace, wherever this stuff is being watched. I love you so much.
I love you too.
Thank you. You're the bestestest.
You're the bestestest.
Woohoo! Till we meet again.
Oh, yes. Can't wait.